minutes to introduce myself. So first of all, I would like to thank my upline who introduced me to New Skin business, and thanks to my all the team leaders, and mostly I want to thank my mentor, 1-star platinum team elite and $1 million circle member, Miss Carrie. So I used to be an executive on of a Korean freight forwarding company. I was a white collar worker who sits in a beautiful bright office, as you know, just sitting in a cubicle and doing the fancy job, holding the very high income in the eyes of others, but living a life that was not what I wanted. I was super busy, like every day, dealing with lots of hassles, fight with the competitors, and started to burn out somehow. I was just really fed up with 9 to 5 daily routines for years, and I was just fed up with my boss always tell me what to do, and sitting in my little cubicle and slowly losing the passion of my life. So I was always looking for a plan B. I've been waiting for an opportunity, and a new skin just came up, and this business just became attached because of the LumiSpa. And later on, I started using the facial spa, body spa, Age Lock Me, and Age Lock TR90, which greatly improved my skin and successfully lost like 20, like almost 30 pounds. And the process of doing new skin, and I saw from the others, those great leaders, that new skin is not just a platform for making money. It can continue to accumulate a passive income, which is really new to me. And it can also use mutual assistance to achieve careers, and use cooperation to replace competition with the team members and become more helpful to others as well. And I can see my future. I can see my future in New Skin, and I am super excited. I'm eager to gain a perfect life through New Skin platform. So this is my introduction. Thank you. So today I'm super excited because we have a very special speaker. But before we introduce her, I just want to thank Mr. Patrick and Miss Margaret for all your help inviting this special guest come to our Zoom channel today. Okay, so everyone, we can use our flowers and a lot of hearts. We can send those hearts and flowers to Mr. Patrick and Miss Margaret. And since today's meeting is in English, we invited our interpreter, Miss Sophie, to translate for us. If you need to hear the whole speech in Chinese, please select on the right-hand side. You can see on the right-hand side of the bottom on your screen. So please send loves and flowers to Sophie as well, okay? And also, so today our guest, we can hear. So today our guest is our senior marketing manager, also our director of North American marketing on New Skin Enterprise, Miss Anganel Davis. We have seen Anganel in many places, right? I believe in the kickoff meetings, convention, like a lot of meetings, like online trainings, always bring the the most valuable information about our company, and also products and technology, right? And I can't believe she is like right here. And I believe she has been with New Skin for over 22 years or something, like a lot of years, right?
Yeah.
In her various roles. Yeah, which allow her to gain valuable experiences as well. So I can't believe she is now on our Zoom channel with us, like face to face. I'm super excited. And now everyone, please get up and help me welcome our director of North America marketing and our senior marketing manager, Anganel Davis.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that warm welcome. When Pat and Marguerite ask for something, the answer is always yes. We love Pat and Marguerite songs. So they're amazing leaders. all of you are part of an amazing team. So I'm happy to be here with you. And I was asked to speak on some of our funnest products. So I'm really excited. I've had a day of 12-hour day of back-to-back meetings, and I've been looking forward to this. This is what I'm considering my break tonight from all of these 12 hours of meetings, because now I get to do the fun stuff, and that's talking about our products and the benefits. And when Marguerite told me to save time for Q&A, that's what really got me excited. Q&A is my favorite part because it's rare for everyone to have a chance to really ask all of their questions and to get the answers. And so I've always found Q&A to be really fun. So I'm actually going to stop after each one of the products they asked me to present on and give some time for Q&A. So does that work, Christine? Okay, perfect.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Great. So the first product I'll talk about is ageLOC LumiSpa. ageLOC LumiSpa is one of our top selling products and part of the #1 beauty device family, #1 in the world beauty device family, and one of our fastest growing products, especially on social media. What we're finding is it has a home. You know, when you're talking to friends and customers, you only have a few seconds to really give them an idea of what that product, what makes it special. And LumiSpa is easy within those few seconds to do that. And the other thing that I think is resonating so well with LumiSpa is nowadays we really love, there's so much in life that you have to be dedicated to and consistent to see the payoff, to see the results down the road. Like, for example, exercising. You can't exercise one day and, like Christine, who lost the 30 pounds, you don't exercise tomorrow and the next day lose 30 pounds. You have to be consistent and dedicated, and then you get that big payoff after a few months of really hard work. Well, LumiSpa is different. LumiSpa is one of those amazing products that just after one time, you get that reward, you get that payoff. And that's one of the things that's resonating so well and driving sales of this so phenomenally. But the magic for new skin products is when you have a product like that that's very demonstrable, but it's paired with science that just blows the competition out of the water. We have so much that, in fact, let me just start the discussion with science. So ageLOC LumiSpa device has 5 patents just on the device. That's all the technology inside of it, the head, the attachment that goes onto it that I'll talk about. And then the 5 cleansers have the ageLOC ingredients in it. And in all of the ageLOC family of products, we have over 30 patents on ageLOC technology. That's huge. Find any cosmetic skincare product in the industry that has over 30 patents, and it's just phenomenal. So 5 patents on the device, over 30 patents on the ageLOC technology. What is the ageLOC technology? It's all about identifying the genes that can trigger specific signs of aging that we don't want. And it can reset those genes to act like they did when they were younger. So we're not changing your genes. You're born with the genes you're born with. There's no changing your genes. But how active they are, that we can influence. When you're young, some genes are super active and some genes aren't very active at all. And you don't want to just blindly, and literally there are some companies, some products we've tested that blindly go in and try and activate all the genes because they think that as you age, your genes slow down, right? Which kind of intuitively, I can understand why they think that. But some are actually supposed to be slow or higher, more active. And so, or some slower. And so if you're blindly activating all the genes and making them be working harder, you could actually accelerate the rate of aging in the skin. But in addition to that, we also have the exclusive patents on the ability to identify the gene itself, and then patents on how the levels of the ingredients. So once you have to know what the gene is that's triggering the problem, and once you know what that gene is, then you can target that gene with all kinds of different ingredients to see which ingredient is causing a change. And then once you know what ingredient's causing a change, then you start dosing to see what levels are most effective. Is it most effective at this level, a ton, or is it most effective at this level? And we have patents every step along that way to make this technology exclusive to you, that you're offering to your friends, to your family, to your customers. And so ageLOC is amazing. I have not found anything out there that can compare to that. But science isn't the only thing. Actually, before I go beyond science, let me also tell you about the attachments that go on the device, and because that's part of the science as well. So there's 3 attachments: firm, gentle, or normal. And there's 2 circles on that little head. And those 2 circles turn in opposite directions. And that is called a micropulse oscillation technology, which again is patented technology. By turning in separate directions, the point is for it to tug the skin, because you've got it turning in both ways, and so it slightly tugs the skin. You can't tug too hard or you accelerate the rate of aging. Tug too little, you're doing nothing to the skin. It's like Goldilocks and the 3 bears, you got to tug just right. And the clinical studies actually show that when you are getting just the right connection with the skin, you're triggering the skin, the activity levels in the skin that promote the volume and the density. And we can claim that we can increase the appearance of that volume and density. Why is that important? Young skin is thick, plump, gorgeous skin. As the skin ages, it thins, and that's when those lines and wrinkles start to form. And the other signs, as it gets thinner, you start to see discoloration, and the tone isn't as good, and all the signs of aging start to appear as the layers of skin thin. And so keeping that nice, thick, plump layers of skin is what's going to promote the young looking skin. Now, the volume and density, those claims are going to kick in after using the product for 3 to 6 months. I mean, not 3 to 6 months, 30 days to 90 days. So 1 to 3 months is when you're going to see those best benefits with the volume and density. However, that micropulse oscillation is also going along and exfoliating off rough, dead layers of skin in a much healthier way. And this is getting into the second topic I wanted to talk about, which is the the gentleness of LumiSpa. When you look at other cleansing devices, especially those with bristles, they can leave literally when you look at the skin under a microscope, there's little micro tears and scratches. I like to give an example of sandpaper. Sandpaper with a piece of wood, after you sand it, it's going to be nice and smooth. But if you looked at that piece of wood under a microscope, you use sandpaper on it, you're going to have all these little tiny tears and scratches that a microscope is going to magnify. Same thing is happening at a lesser level, but same thing's happening with bristles. Also, well, I'll get into another problem with bristles, but other forms of, it's not just bristles, there's other attachments that I have seen out there that can also be too aggressive in that same nature. We are using a medical grade silicone that is so gentle to the skin, and we actually have studies that show that after a LumiSpa treatment, it's exfoliating off those dead layers, and as it's moving across, it's polishing down the young healthy layers. So think about your hair. We all know that beautiful, gorgeous hair has the cuticles all laid down and pressed down really nice and flat. And when that's happening, you don't have the split ends or the unsightly problems. You get that nice, sleek, shiny, healthy look to the hair. The exact same concept applies to your skin. When we can smooth down and lay down those layers of skin so they're not lifted up and rough, light reflects off so smoothly and evenly off the skin. but also it's tangible to the touch. After, and this gets back to what I said at the beginning, after one treatment, you can feel and see a difference. Your skin is so much softer. Your makeup goes on so much better. You can just see that difference in the skin, because as well as what I've just explained, there's also another thing that's kicking in. When you have a buildup of skin layers, it causes a dull aspect to the skin, which causes an aged appearance to the skin. When you can quickly get rid of those upper layers of dead skin, you immediately brighten and give a healthier glow to the skin, as well as that refraction of the light also comes into play there, because you've got plumper, thicker layers of skin that are going to refract the light better as well. So all these, there's just so much science that's coming into play. And this is why you're getting those immediate benefits, but you're also getting those long-term benefits with LumiSpa. Now, there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I have to be careful I don't take up all the time, so we have Q&A time here. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I talked about science, I talked about cleanliness, oh, gentle, now cleanliness. Let me talk about clean. I was talking about bristles a little bit earlier. Bristles are porous, meaning they absorb and hold on to whatever they're exposed to. So if you're removing makeup, you've got oil and bacteria, which is natural to happen on the skin. And you want to be able to remove that each day to keep healthy, gorgeous skin that's not breaking out or having problems. But that bacteria, those dead skin cells, the impurities, the makeup in a device that has bristles is now creating a feeding ground that is it's disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm like trying not to like react to my own description of this. So if you do a little demo, this is going to be much more apparent to you. If you remove one side of somebody's face with makeup with our device, and you do it with a bristle device, and then you take both, and with just water, nothing else, you rinse them underwater for 30 seconds, you will have a dramatic demonstration for you or for your customer or for your family member. They're going to be amazed. And the reaction I always get when I do that type of demo is, oh my gosh, that's disgusting, when they see the one with the bristles, because it doesn't rinse away like the silicone does. The silicone immediately rinses away. In fact, we did clinical studies on that, where we did glow in the dark makeup and then rinsed both devices with water for 30 seconds, took them to a black room, and we were able to show that our device was completely clean, but the competitor device was completely lit up and glowing because those bristles just grabbed onto everything and it was filthy dirty. And so even the clinical studies are backing that up to show that. That was so funny. I made myself sick just describing that. But it's fascinating to see how that works. So 3 kind of big things that I like to hit: science, how gentle it is, and how clean it is. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you, those attachments also are embedded with silver, which has natural antimicrobial properties to it. So again, one more way in that you are maintaining a very clean, sanitary, healthy device that can be used day after day. A couple of other things I'll throw in there, and then let's do some Q&A. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on silent. A couple of other things is the attachments. I often get people who are wondering about which attachment should I use. There's a firm one, a normal one, and a gentle one. The firm one is somebody more like my mom. She has skin that just is not sensitive. She can do anything to her skin, and she wants more results. And so for her, I have her use the firm. She would be perfect for the firm head. It's going to do a little bit more of the exfoliation. She's going to feel a little bit more of those tangible results on her skin, and it's going to be just right for her. For me, somehow I inherited, probably from my dad, sensitive skin. Firm is just a little too aggressive for me. My skin does not like it. It's doing too much action that is causing my skin to flare up. So I use the gentle head. That's just right to give me those benefits I want, but not the irritation, the redness, or anything like that that could go with it. And then the normal one in between is just going to work for anybody. It's just your felt safe. I will use the normal one sometimes. I'm just fine. It works for anyone. So right there in the middle. And then the 5 cleansers. Really, the heart of each cleanser is the same. It's the ageLOC ingredients and technology. That's the purpose. But there's slight differences from cleanser to cleanser. Like the one for dry skin is going to have more moisturizing ingredients. The one for acne prone skin is going to be ingredients that are going to help a little bit more with acne. The one for oily skin is going to have fewer of those moisturizing ingredients because they don't need as much. And the one that's right in the middle for normal skin, just again, like the attachment for the head, works for anybody. It's kind of, you can't go wrong with that one. The other question I get a ton of is, do I have to use the LumiSpa cleanser with the device? Unfortunately, yes. I say unfortunately because we've got some amazing cleansers, like our 180 face wash that has been one of our highest loyalty cleansers over the years, or ageLOC Gentle Cleanse and Tone, or new Nutricentials cleansers. So you've got some options. You can double cleanse, which any professional spa or salon, if you go in for a facial, they're always going to double cleanse because you never get everything off with just one cleanse. In fact, I have a little bit of OCD, we'll call it. I can't stand to see my makeup on my LumiSpa device. So I cleanse first, remove all the makeup, and then I use my LumiSpa. It still gets so much off, but I just don't like to see it on my device. So you can definitely cleanse twice. But for those people who are like, no, I don't have time to cleanse twice, just give me one cleanser. It's got to be a LumiSpa cleanser, and here's why. Jokingly, I referred to that Goldilocks and the 3 Bears fairy tale story earlier. Well, the same thing applies to these cleansers. If you have a cleanser that's too thick, like 180 face wash, that attachment isn't going to make the connection to the skin that causes that volume and density to be triggered. If the cleanser is too thin, like ageLOC Gentle Cleanse and Tone, it's going to be it's not enough of a barrier, and that device is going to grab the skin too much and tug and irritate and possibly accelerate aging to the skin. The LumiSpa cleansers, and we found this out, of course, through testing, because we wanted to pair it originally with some of our own cleansers. But as we did the testing and we realized, time out, this isn't going to work. That's why we actually had to develop new cleansers for every skin type so that there was an option with the right viscosity. That means thickness or thinness of the cleanser to give you just the right activation of the skin, that it's not tugging too hard and it's not completely missing the skin, so that you're triggering that volume and density. Triggering that improvement of the appearance of the volume and density is huge. It's so important for that long-term benefit that we want to deliver. So I think I've hit the core things with LumiSpa. I took a little too long there, sorry. Let's open it up for a little Q&A. Is that okay, Christine? All right.
Yes, please. 现在是我们的这个 Q&A 的这个时间哈，大家可以有什么问题的话提出来。We probably need a little bit time. They're probably typing.
No problem.
Yeah.
Do I have to type then ask the question? May I ask just?
No, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. My question is, what's your recommendation like for one setting? Because sometimes we use LumiSpa and also we use facial spa, and maybe sometimes we'll have to use the glacier marine mud. So how often do you suggest for us to use for one? Just one setting, like we clean them, we just hydrate ourselves, then do all the serum and etc. So for this one whole setting, how many times do you recommend us to use?
Really good question. I'm so glad you asked that, because that's like a foundational question. Like that's really important to know. So thank you. LumiSpa is every single day, morning and night. I mean, at least once a day, but preferably morning and night. I've seen some of the most amazing before and after pictures. I saw one picture of somebody who was only using 2 products, nothing else, just 2 products. She was using LumiSpa and what was it? AHA facial pill. And that's all she used for 6 months. And her before and after blew me away. And so really more important than how many products you're using is how consistent you are. If you're consistent, you will get more benefits from being consistent with 1 product every single day than you would using 5 products 2 or 3 times a week. So LumiSpa morning and night every single day. And then, you know, if you could add 1 or 2 more products onto that, great. Because you mentioned glacier marine mud and facial spa, let me answer those 2. They pair very nicely. Almost anything can be added on to LumiSpa because LumiSpa is just a basic. It's a foundation that you could add anything onto. And so facial spa can be used after your LumiSpa 2 to 3 times a week. And glacier marine mud can also be used after the LumiSpa 2 to 3 times a week. I do it on separate days. I wouldn't do LumiSpa, glacier marine mud, and facial spa all on the same day. I'd probably mix it up and do facial spa one day and glacier marine mud the other day, but your LumiSpa is your daily. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We got another question. When we do have our makeup during the day, right? So at night, when we don't if we don't use the makeup remover first, and then we just apply LumiSpa directly, you know, without any remover first, would that clean not that well instead?
Good question. We actually did do studies to see if you remove your makeup with the LumiSpa, will it work? The answer is yes. Definitely don't remove eye makeup with your mascara and eyelashes. We always want to be really gentle in the eye area because the skin's so thin and so prone to damage in that area. And same with lips. Your skin on your lips you've only got about, I think it is around 4 layers, where the skin on your face, you've got more like 17 layers. And then your eyes are even less. So your eyes are the thinnest, lips are probably the next. Because those 2 areas are so thin, they're more prone to irritation and damage. So it'd be definitely better to use eye makeup remover or the makeup remover in those areas. But the rest of the face, we actually did the clinical studies to show that it removes makeup and still works to provide the benefits that we're claiming. It's only me. I'm one of the only people that's
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get them. I don't like the makeup on my device.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. 所以他刚刚讲的就是说，把这个尤其是眼睛还有嘴巴，就是这些是它的那个肌肤是比较透明的嘛，所以呢，我们先可以用那个special 的那个 remover 先把它们 clean 干净，然后再用 LumiSpa 的就是可以的。对，好的，谢谢 Fiona。好，let me see if we have other questions.
How do you? I have a questions.
Yes, please.
With the new NutriEssentials, how do we combine the 2 with the new, because they have its own cleansers, right? And then with the LumiSpa, how do you combine the 2 together?
Perfect question. If you don't want to cleanse twice, you skip the NutriEssentials cleanser and you cleanse with the LumiSpa instead. But I find what works really well for most people is to use the day away micellar water to remove makeup with. And then you know how I said the eyes, you don't want to remove makeup in the eye area with the LumiSpa. The micellar water would be great to get rid of that first layer of makeup and then proceed with the LumiSpa. But if you don't want to do 2 cleansing steps, just skip NutriEssentials and only use the LumiSpa cleanser. I mean, just skip the NutriEssentials cleanser. Then you can go forward with the NutriEssentials toner, serum, moisturizers, etc.
Okay. Thank you.
Next
Hey,
product.
my name is Grace. I have another question.
Yes.
Hi,
Go ahead.
Anganel. So my question is it okay to use LumiSpa on in the around your eyes area, and what should we pay attention to when we use that for that area?
Yes, you can use the LumiSpa in the eye area. I'm going to show you by what I mean by that. You can see here, I'm going around my eye, and everywhere I'm going around my eye, I'm touching bone. If you're staying on the bone, you're okay. Now, if I go right here, I'm no longer on bone. That's where you want to stay. So use that rule of thumb where you can feel the bone. That's where you can use the LumiSpa.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, let's jump on to our next product, which is ageLOC True Face Essence Ultra. This one is a fun one to talk about because this is one of our highest loyalty products.
Oh,
For
I'm sorry,
years
excuse me. We
yes.
have one more question. Well,
Okay.
obviously you mentioned that earlier, but probably she missed that part. So if the device itself, when we use other brands cleanser, would the the cleanse effect would reduce the effect?
Correct.
Like cleanse.
Yep,
Yeah,
if you're not using the
mentioned
right,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
If a cleanser is too thick, the device doesn't have a chance to connect to the skin. And if it's too thin, it's tugging the skin too much. And so the LumiSpa cleansers are developed with the right viscosity, thickness or thinness, the right level to be able to give you the benefits we make the claim for. So, and to help you understand that that's truly an ethical and honest answer, we say that about our own cleansers. We say you can't use the 180 cleanser that everybody loves. You can't use the ageLOC Gentle Cleanse and Tone. You can't use the Nutricentials cleansers that everybody loves. So we say that even about our own cleansers, that you have to have the right viscosity with the device.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And we can just go ahead and jump into the next chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next product we're going to talk about is ageLOC True Face Essence Ultra. And sometimes that has a nickname. It's called Pearls because the real name is really long. So Pearls is a very adequate name. They come in these gorgeous little blue pearl beads that you twist the top off and you dispense the product onto the skin. This for years has been our highest loyalty product, meaning that product is put on ADR more than any other product. It's one of our highest selling products. It is super high loyalty because for long-term benefits, but also there's this one immediate benefit that people love, and that is how it feels on the skin. It has this very silky feel to the skin. It doesn't feel greasy or oily, but it just has a silky, soft feel, and people just instantly fall in love with that. We call that an aesthetic characteristic of the product. And so they love that silky aesthetic feel of the product. But what it's actually doing long-term, it's targeting those components of the skin that help the skin look and feel firmer. And so as we age, our skin droops and our skin sags. If you pinch the back of your hand, when you're 20, it goes back nice and flat really fast. When you're 105 years old, that pinched skin will stay pinched and raised and go back very, very slowly because you don't have as many of those ingredients, components in your skin that allow it to bounce back and allow it to be firm, kind of like a rubber band, as it easily stretches and bounces back to the shape it's supposed to be. And so we're helping to improve that with this product. And so firmness is one of the #1 things people seek when they're looking for an anti-aging product. When your skin is firmer, you don't see as many lines and wrinkles. You have more contour, more of that youthful shape to your face. You don't have as much of that drooping hooded effect. And so firm skin is a youthful benefit that is highly sought after. And so the long-term benefits of ageLOC True Face Essence Ultra or Pearls, that long-term benefit is creating that long-term loyalty. But that immediate silky feel is what's attracting people quickly. So, and this is falls into the serum category or the treatment category. So this is a product that you use after cleansing and toning and before moisturizing. Now, if you're using multiple treatment products, it will be your last treatment product because it's a little bit thicker formula that is harder for ingredients put on afterwards to penetrate into the skin. And so I tell people as a rule of thumb, the only thing you apply after True Face Essence Ultra is an SPF, because SPF is always the final thing you put on your skin. So it's the second to the last product that you normally would use on your skin. I think we've hit, well, actually, let me just look really quick if there's anything I missed that would be really fun to share with you. Oh, we do have a couple of other things I want to tell you about. We've got an antioxidant network in there, and you might be thinking, antioxidant. Here's what antioxidants do. We have free radicals in our skin. And I invite all of you after this call to Google or to do a web search for free radicals. And maybe even combine it with free radical damage on the skin, or, you know, free radical skin. You will be amazed and maybe slightly alarmed. Don't be scared. You'll see a lot of scary stuff, but don't go to the extreme, but do a little search to kind of open your eyes to the harm and the damage that free radicals can cause to our skin. What a free radical is it's a molecule that is missing an electron. It's been damaged. It's, for whatever reason, it's missing that electron. And so it goes and it steals it from another healthy molecule and causes this chain reaction of damage into the skin, which is one of the key triggers for the signs of aging, as well as a whole lot of other things that you'll read about when you Google that. And so an antioxidant is a molecule that has an extra electron, that it can actually give that up and effectively neutralize, stop in its tracks the damaging effects of an antioxidant. And so it's very protective to the skin. Antioxidants are things like vitamin C. We have a lipid soluble form of vitamin C that we're using in this antioxidant complex in this product that specifically is also benefiting with the discoloration that can happen to the skin, and the absorption. It has a better absorption rate in the skin as well. Other antioxidants that we're using in there is the ubiquinone and the vitamin E. These are well known for their ability to protect the skin from external damage and from premature aging. Vitamin E has so many stories associated with that damage, protecting from the damage. Squalene is another one that's in there. That one actually isn't an antioxidant. That one's an emollient. Emollients are ingredients that, you've got humectants and emollients. Humectants are ingredients that can literally grab, even in the air, there's moisture in the air that's all around us. And a humectant can grab that moisture, or moisture that might be on the skin. Let's say you just got out of the shower and your skin is still now moist and dewy. It can grab that moisture and hold it for long periods of time, hours at a time. An emollient is also moisturizing, but in a different way. It is more of a cosmetic moisturizing ingredient that's going in, and when you look at the skin, there's things that you're like, oh, my skin is dry. And the things that trigger that in your mind is when you see a little bit of scaling or a little bit of white, or you feel roughness. Emollients are ingredients that take away those topical tangible, they target immediately that look or feel to dryness of the skin. And so we have some fun emollients in there as well that are effectively quenching that. They are giving some antioxidant benefits, but they're doing a double work by giving that moisture that the skin needs as well. So, and then the firming complex, I talked about that earlier when I talked about LumiSpa. I covered age lock. Of course, age lock is the foundation of this product. When I talk about firmness, we've identified the genes genetically, the genes that are triggering the loss of firmness, that are triggering the problem in the skin, and being able to reset the activity levels of those genes. So lots of fun stuff with Age Lock True Face Essence Ultra. Let's open it for questions with that product.
All right. So is this Q&A time right
Yes.
now? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. I think we while we were talking, few questions came up. I'm gonna read that to you. So Age Lock True Face Essence Ultra should be after our night cream. Is that it? Or even after day cream?
Your day or night moisturizer is your last step. Your True Face Essence Ultra is your second to the last step. So they'll come right before your day or night moisturizer.
Right before. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's before the cream.
Yes.
Okay. And do we have more questions?
This is Grace G. I have a question for you. So this product, I'm new to new skin, so that's why I have questions.
Welcome.
So what would you say that this product is superior to other products on the market? So what is the reason?
That is the most important question with any of our products. And the best answer is always try it and let the product prove itself. Don't just trust everything we're saying. Don't it's not about, we are so confident in the science behind our products that and this is one of the products that we have 100% money back guarantee on. And we actually provide that with all Age Lock products, that we guarantee that you'll see and feel a difference when you use this product, or we will give you 100% your money back. And so my number one answer is try it and let the product answer that question for you. But then the next more direct answer to your question is Age Lock. There is nothing, like I said, over 30 patents with Age Lock technology. There's nothing like that out there. The third answer would be the firmness. Just the benefits of firming that you are going to see. Marguerite will remember this. Years ago, we talked one of our leaders into using it on half of her face for a month. And we used that before and after picture for years. Finally, she was like, I can't do this anymore. I got to do the other half of my face. So yeah, the firmness, the Age Lock technology, and of course that silky feel, just, it's hard to duplicate that magic with how it feels on the skin.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
May I ask a question about the sequence where to you when we can use the True Face Ultra? So you said it's second to last. Can you explain again why it's because it's normally we use it as a serum, right? So we use normally before the night cream, before the day cream. So you are saying it's actually after day cream. So it's kind of like a different from the training we have before. So I have to understand why more. And also another question is, if we want to use the pearl earlier, like maybe after boost or maybe before the boost, if we put the pearl first, then we use the Age Lock boost, then can we push the pearl ingredients more into the skin? Is that better use? So how do you explain that?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Good questions. And let me clarify, your day cream or day moisturizer and your night cream or night moisturizer are always last. You don't use the pearls after. The pearls come before. So day cream and night cream are always your last steps. Now, having said that, I talked to one of our scientists one day, and she was like, Anganel, really, it's not going to make that big of a difference. She's like, technically, when you get down to the millimeters of like the micro results that are possible, yes, it is better for the pearls to be your second to last product because it's a thicker formula that is, we call it occlusive. Occlusive means it's hard for ingredients put on afterwards to penetrate past that formula and get down to the skin. And so that's why if you're using another product like True Face Line Corrector or Celltrex Ultra, or we've got a True Face Idealize or Intensive Eye Complex. That's why these types of products would all go on before, because it would be hard for True Face Line Corrector to get past the pearls down to the skin, or it would be hard for Idealize to get past the pearls and down to the skin. The reason why you use the day cream or the night moisturizer afterwards is because you want that SPF sitting on top of the skin. You don't want it absorbing down into the skin and the skin eating it up and making it disappear. You want it sitting on top of the skin, blocking those damaging rays of the sun. So that's why we say the moisturizer goes on last, so that the SPF is the on top of all other ingredients or products that are on your skin. So hopefully that was a little bit more clear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I just want to add on to your question. So you said you wanted the SPF to remain on top of the skin, but if it's nighttime and we're putting night moisturizer or night cream, I'm just a little bit confused because you said that the Ultra Essence is a thick layer of it and it won't allow anything else to absorb in our skin. So why would we put the night cream on top of the True Essence?
That is simply all we're doing there is trying to be simple. We don't want to get it so complicated that people are like, well, wait, the day cream goes last, but the night cream doesn't go last. And people start to get confused. And so if we can categorize it, it makes it a little bit easier for people. So we say cleanse, tone, treat, moisturize, and pearls is a treatment. And the day and the night cream both fall into the moisturize. And so because we need that SPF to be last, and the night one is clumped into that same category, for simplicity of not complicating it for most customers, we just say your moisturizers go last. Now, for somebody who's more skin savvy like you, you're going to understand, oh, okay, I know this isn't too complicated for me. I got this. I'm going to use
Like
pearls
still
last.
trying to go to sleep, and then I have my clothes and my eyes are droopy, and then suddenly the thing went
So
on, and then
I
was
did
just like,
forget to answer one of the questions that was the previous lady had asked two questions. She asked if you could drive pearls into the skin with the facial spa or the boost. With the facial spa, you have to have the right charges to the product. It's the charges that are reacting with the charge in the device that is repelling and pushing that into the skin. And pearls doesn't have a charge. It doesn't have a positive charge or a negative charge. So you're not pushing it into the skin. Boost is not designed with that. It does have a charge, but it's doing something different. The point isn't to drive something into the skin. The point is we're using a completely different galvanic current than what is used in the galvanic spa. They're literally different currents that we're using. Galvanic spa is really just to push and drive those ingredients in. Boost is using a current that confuses the skin. It's this modulating current that changes every few seconds. It's changing, and it's changing at different rates, at different wavelengths every few seconds. And so the skin can't get used to it. It's like when you're exercising and your body figures out a way, like if you're doing sit-ups, your body figures out how to cheat after a little while, and you have to be totally conscious of your form when you're exercising to get the maximum results. Your skin is the same. It can figure out, it can get used to things, and you don't get as good results. And so with Boost, we're using that modulated variable, constantly changing current that confuses the skin, and it causes the skin to wake up and activate, and specifically activate with the ingredients in the serum that are used afterwards. The number one thing we're going for with Boost is brightness and okay, two things, brightness and glow. And so that's why neither device is going to drive pearls into the skin, but you're going to get great benefits with the galvanic spa. We do know that any product used after a treatment will clinically is proven to absorb better into the skin for up to 24 hours after that treatment of the galvanic spa. So that's like if you used it that night, then the next morning and the next evening, the pearls are going to absorb better when you apply them into the skin.
I have one more questions regarding applying for the new color liquid finish. So that will be the last one, right? After
You're right.
after if you use the day cream, that will be the pearl, and then day cream, and then the liquid finish.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
All right, I'm going through the chat box. I believe we answered most of them. Did we answer? Can we use the Boost like before the pearl or after?
Can you use
talk
Boost
about it?
before? Oh, Boost would be used before. You would cleanse and tone, excuse me, and then you'd use your Boost, and then you would use the pearl.
The Boost and the pearl, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe we probably answered most of them. Just
No,
want to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
And Janelle, someone asked a question. If you can use the Boost on top of Power Mask.
You could, like the scientist told me before, really like her comment to me was, you can use our products completely wrong and still get benefits. Like that's how good the science is behind the products. And to some degree, the products all mix on the skin and absorb into the skin. There is a maximum absorption level. You can't just endlessly apply product and expect it for hours and hours to be absorbed and used into the skin. But most people don't ever reach that maximum level. So yeah, you could do that. But the best is to use Boost first, because again, you want to startle the skin. You want to confuse the skin. You want to activate it and wake it up so that it's doing everything afterwards more effectively. Now, let me give one example of how you can use a product completely wrong. We had a product, which one should I even pick? We used to have a product called Polishing Peel. It's been replaced with the Brighter Day Exfoliant Scrub. I have so many people raving about that product on social media. But anyways, that's another story for another day. But before we came out with the Brighter Day, we had what was called Polishing Peel. And you had to put it on. It was a little bit harder to use. You had to put it on the skin, and you had to leave it on there for 30 to 60 seconds. It had to set up just a little bit. And then you start rubbing it, and it would pull out impurities and it'd pull off dead skin cells, and you'd rub that off of the skin, and it would leave the skin really soft. We'd do demos on one hand and not the other. And so one day I had somebody telling me like Polishing Peel was their absolute favorite product of anything we offered. And they started telling me, yeah, I put it on and then I immediately rinse it off, and I'm just getting the best results ever. They weren't going through any of the process that really pulled out and exfoliated those upper layers of skin. They were using it totally wrong and raving about the benefits that they were getting with that product. So You can pretty much use most of our products wrong. In fact, we do clinical studies based on misusage of our products, anticipating that some people might get confused. And we want to make sure that even when you use the product wrong, it's still going to be safe and not harmful to the skin. We've even done that with Pharmanex products. We've even had products where they, or we actually had a whole line of products that were skincare products. But we actually tested it for somebody to be, I can't go there, but we test for misuse of the products, and yeah. But use it the right way and you'll get even more benefits. Any last question?
So the question is, we normally use the like power mask. We use the facial spa, right? We use number 4 to just push the power mask, all those the water. How do I get confused? So make it better. So use the facial spa. So can we use the boost instead of facial spa to use it on the power mask?
Well, 2 things I need to explain there. And I want to try and keep this a simple explanation. We've got the galvanic spa in Canada and other countries of the world, and we have the facial spa in the United States. Basically what happened was the galvanic spa was getting so much, the results were so amazing that the FDA came in and said, this isn't a cosmetic product. Your results are too good. This is a medical grade product. And so we had to re-register that product because it was too good. And so the law in the FDA requirement is that a medical device can only be used with another medical device. And so we created the conductive gel, which the purpose of is to deliver that current to the skin so that we can make the skin help the skin be more permeable to absorb those ingredients better for up to 24 hours. So what we did was we had to also clear the conductive gel as a medical device, because the facial spa can only be used with another medical device. So facial spa can only legally be recommended for use with the conductive gel because they're both cleared as medical devices in that category. We in the US cannot recommend and pair using ageLOC ageLOC facial gels or the ageLOC power mask or the ageLOC eye mask. Sorry, we changed a few of the names from Canada to the US, removing that galvanic name so people wouldn't get confused. Now, if it's somebody in Canada and they've got the galvanic spa, absolutely they can pair that with the galvanic power mask. And the power mask has the right charges to repel with the galvanic spa to be able to drive that ingredients of the mask more effectively into the skin. Or same with the, I think it's called Energize in Canada, the eye mask. Or same with, the galvanic facial gels or the body shaping gel. So that's the answer to that. Now, even if you were in Canada though, could you use Boost to drive that in, any of those in? No, because Boost is using, remember, a totally different current. The facial spa is a current that can drive product into the skin. With Boost, even with the serum we're pairing it with, we're not driving that serum into the skin. It's not a current that drives product into the skin. The Boost is a current that confuses the skin with this constant changing current that is triggering the skin to, it's like when you're exercising, if you change it up, your body can't get lazy and your body gives you more results. You get more results from a workout. Same thing's happening with the skin. We're confusing it and waking it up so the skin is working harder and giving us more results. Also, the Boost is a little bit more simple and easy to combine in. And so it's a little easier for that to be habitual as well with daily use.
Okay, so we have more questions. I don't know if we answered this one. Other than Pearl, does our company plan on release the pump version permanently in the future?
We won't do a permanent release of the pearls in a pump, we call it. But you will see it come back to maybe 3 times each year during holidays. Like maybe you might see it during Mother's Day.
Oh, that's
Or
looking forward to that.
often you'll see it during the holidays around, Christmas time, but yeah, not a permanent product that will be launched.
So
No.
that's the special like holiday edition probably.
Yep. So when you
Limited
see it, buy it because it's not always there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And I see a question. When we use Boost with the serum, sometimes the serum gets probably too dry. It wouldn't like really like absorb by the skin. It's the scrub, like when we scrub it, probably it has the flakes like falls off. So what's the reason of that and how can we improve that?
Really, really good question. And it looks like we've hit our time, but let's definitely answer this because this is an important one. So I told you earlier that most people don't reach that maximum absorption level. Well, some people do. And what you just described is usually an indicator that you've got too much product on the skin. Because once the skin has reached its maximum level of what it can absorb, the product is just sitting on top of the skin. And the more you add, the more it is balling up on top of each other. And you get this kind of balling, flaking effect that it's coming off. The more you rub it or the more you apply, the more it balls up and flakes and is coming off the skin. The other thing that can sometimes be an indicator of too much product on the skin is a little bit of a breakout, like a milia or a little bit of that raised bump or a little bit of a white head. That can sometimes be an indicator for an oily skin type that they're applying too much product and it's causing a breakout. Now, in those scenarios, I recommend a couple of different options. Usually, the right option is just use a little bit less. Sometimes we get really excited and we think more is better. Always more is better, but it's not always true. We want to use the right levels for our skin. And so usually if you just cut back, if you're using a nickel size, use a dime size. If you're using a dime size, just use 1 or 2 drops instead. So just a little bit thinner, smaller dosages that you're using to the skin will usually solve the problem. If it doesn't, actually there's 2 other options. If it doesn't, you could switch one of your products. So for example, let's say you're using Nutricentials and you're using Moisturize Me, which is one of our most intense, most moisturizing, delivering tons of thick ingredients to the skin. You could switch from that product to Thirst Fix, which is our most popular Nutricentials product, but B, it's a much lighter consistency that's not delivering as many ingredients to the skin that aren't going to ball up as much on the skin. So there's solution. That's your second solution, switching to maybe a lighter ingredient. Your third solution, which is usually the last, but sometimes is necessary, is cutting a product out. Like, for example, I've had people who are using 2 moisturizers, like 2 day creams, because they love both and they just can't decide which one. And so they're using both. And in that scenario, I'll say, okay, for you, because you're getting that balling up effect, we need to choose the right one and we'll cut one of those moisturizers out. So those are really your 3 options in that type of a scenario.
Okay, that's very helpful. I was looking at a question. Okay, we say Boost is used not only in the morning and evening, but also on the go. So can Boost be used while people have makeups on during the day?
Yeah, we did do some studies with Boost over the top of makeup and it was no problem. The only problem with that is it does move your makeup around a little bit. So as long as you're not okay, as long as you are okay with that, that's fine. In those scenarios, I just kind of like to gently pat that makeup back where you want it to make sure it's evenly distributed, but it's just fine using it over the top of makeup. And then I see one comment here in the chat about acne breakout with Boost. in that scenario, I would explore what products the person is using. For example, are they using an intense moisturizer after boost, like Moisturize Me? For someone with oily skin, that's way too heavy and probably going to trigger an acne breakout. So you want to make sure if the products they're using are too moisturizing, that you're cutting back. If they're breaking out, you also want to always gravitate towards fewer products and more gentle products. So like if they're using 5 or 6 products in the morning, cut it back to 3 or 4 and make sure those 3 or 4 are much lighter until you can help their skin get under control. Because even just trying a new product, it is super common for people's skin to need to adjust to a new product, and that can take a couple of weeks. So cutting it back to just 3 or so products gives the skin a chance to get used to those new products, and then you can add back in some of the other well-loved products.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, I think this will be our last question.
Yeah, so I've been used the booster, right? And then it was okay first, like 2 weeks. It's my the spots like the 雀斑. Can you just translate it? 雀斑. It's
Freckles.
lighter. Yes.
Freckles.
Okay.
She has freckles.
Freckles is lighter. However, after 2 weeks and then I use it, it's seems like getting back, like getting more.
Okay, that's normal. Echo, I'm going to explain that question for you later. But
Okay,
I have
great.
a more pressing question for Anganel. When you mentioned, I put in the chat, but I'm not sure if you saw it. So my question was, when we were told to use boost right after the toner, but also you just mentioned it can use above makeup as well. So that's kind of contradictory. Would you please comment on that? Thanks.
Yeah, so simplest way to explain that. Earlier I was talking about we try to keep it really simple so we don't confuse people, and we have those categories of cleanse, tone, treat, moisturize. Boost again is falling into that treat category. And so when we're trying to be simple, we just say cleanse and tone your skin, then use boost, and then follow up with your moisturizer. That's the way we can just keep it super simple to not complicate people. But again, for somebody a little bit more skin savvy like yourself, you can mix that up. You can play with it. I always tell people, no matter what we say, your skin is the best judge of what you can and can't do. I've had some people who adamantly will tell me, let me give you an example. A Galvanic Spa. And Marguerite will probably, she might have been one of these people. We, for years, had people, this probably, I don't know, 10 or more years ago, we kept having leaders come to us saying, I'm getting amazing results when I use True Face Line Corrector and the facial spa. When I dry Galvanic Spa, that's what we had at that time. That Galvanic Spa is driving the True Face Line Corrector into my skin and I'm getting better results. And we kept telling people, no, you can't do that. We don't, our clinical studies don't support that. We had so many top level leaders telling us they were getting results. We finally did a clinical study, and guess what? True Face Line Corrector, without us realizing it, had a natural positive charge to it. So when leaders were using the Galvanic Spa on the positive charge setting, the second setting, it was indeed driving True Face Line Corrector into the skin, and they were getting almost double the results our clinical studies proved when they were pairing it up. And so we were telling them for years, no, no, no. And their skin was saying, yes, yes, yes. And so
yeah, that's
we'll
really
tell you what we've done, the clinical studies are that we know are safe, but let your skin be the best judge.
Yeah, I think that's great. You know, this is awesome because our team has been using that the way you described with the line corrector. So personally, how I have been explaining to people is such that, you know, because we got this a lot because Boost is for on the go. So I would explain to them, to my members that Boost, I mean, for full routine, you should be using this at a certain step. However, because of the technology, because you could have instant boost anytime wherever you are. So even if you have, because once you actually finish your complete regimen, you're out. You've been out for a little bit, and everything on your face is probably already very well absorbed. So at that time, if you give the skin a random shot of boost, no pun intended, then you will still get results. So that's what I usually say.
I could not have said it better. You said it so perfectly. Because like I said before, it wakes your skin up, it confuses the skin and reactivates anything that's on the skin. So I love what you just said.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christine,
good to see you.
It's been such a pleasure to join you tonight. Thanks so much, Marguerite and Christine, for inviting me.
Well, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and thank you so much for sharing all those information. And to me, a lot of because I have been listening and hearing a lot of information from the company, online training, but today is completely different. It's just just like another whole new world to me. And thank you so much for all those great questions, and thank you for your time. And let's just give Anganel another round of applause and a lot of loves, okay? A lot of kisses and hugs. And thank you again. Thank you again for your time. And also, I want to, I'll bring it up again. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick and Miss Marguerite, to, help us to, build a bridge, connect with Anganel. And today we have such a great sharing and speech for us. It's a great training. And I'm not sure if Miss Marguerite want to say something.
No, really, thank you. Now, I was worried for a minute when she couldn't log on, but I'm glad everything went very well. So it's a good job. I learned a lot today too. Yeah. And thank you for our host. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
谢谢老师. Thank you so much.